Some Nigerians are in jubilation while others feel like there is nothing to celebrate. In your perspective as a Nigerian, who is contributing his quota in a way by establishing a firm that employs labor, what would you say about Nigeria at 65?
We need to really look at so many things. It involves a lot of things. One is there are aspects that we will celebrate definitely in terms of transformation and other stuff like that. And there are aspects that we need to apply what we have in Nigeria, and there are aspects that we need to improve. Because the founding fathers of this country, they fought immaterial of what? Of their religion, immaterial of their perspective, immaterial
Personal
of
perspective, region,
ethnicity. Ethnicity. So they came with one word, unity. So these are the kind of things we need to elaborate. Number one, we need to have Nigeria, because Nigeria is a country that has so many popularity in terms of religion, in terms of culture, in terms of ethnic group. So the gum which brought us together at the initial stage during the fighting of this country for it to get independence is what we really need to really talk about, really, about unity. So we don't have unity now. Not that we don't have unity in terms of what we are seeing physically, but there should be a unity in terms of if I see development in Maiduguri, it's a development in Lagos. If I see development in Benue, it's a development in Nigeria. If I see development in Kano, it's a development in Nigeria. So we don't need to see a development whereby it's regional, only development that is towards a particular region without consideration to other areas. So that unity is now going to be eroded, because the unity of this unity is about inclusivity and fairness. So if there is no inclusivity in terms of leadership, if there is no fairness in terms of leadership, then that unity with which this country is founded on will going to be no more.
Do you think Nigeria is truly independent?
Yeah, Nigeria has a lot of independence because when the colonial masters left this country, they left this country and handed over to Nigerians. But after that one, then the military government or leadership took over. Then you have fighting here and there, the coup and other stuff like that. Then there was a transformation in 1999 where we have democracy and little of that control is no more there, where you have a chance to really speak about what you know and what you have in mind. You can have to speak freely about what you have in mind, and the government will listen and then take action on it. And the transformation in terms of education, before there were no private universities. But now I think we have private institutions.
Don't you think the private
more than
universities
270 private
came to being because there is dysfunction in the public institutions?
No, I think the private sector saw opportunity from the government, and government gave them a space to really take over. If there is inclusivity in terms of private government, there is what we call PPP, public-private partnership. You understand? So if government can leave a space for private sector to demonstrate their ingenuity and expertise, then the country will going to improve, and then there will going to be a learning exchange between the government and the private.
What would you say independence means to you as an individual?
Independence to me is to have a free Nigeria to speak about your mind. One. Secondly, to have a free Nigeria that the system works, where you will go and apply particular process and you get it done when you have everything right. And to have a Nigeria where everybody has the right to vote, and then to be voted for, and then not to be controlled by any external forces or even internal forces. And then to have the right to live freely, move from Abuja to Kaduna without being panic of what will happen along the corridor. And then to have the right to do your business without interference of bureaucratic bottleneck, And then to live freely, actually. But based
But
on...
you say you can do all of these things without fear.
well,
as a
these are the
Nigerian.
because we are aspiring for better, so there is need for improvement, definitely.
If you were to get the ears of the president as it is for 1 or 2 minutes, what are the key things you would mention to the president to improve the lives of ordinary Nigerians?
For the president, what I will tell him is that he needs to be inclusive in leadership, just inclusivity. And whatever policy that he has to pass through the litmus paper. Like, for instance, the recent policy that we realize working around that sex workers were going to pay taxes, you know. These are the kind of things that we need to contextualize them and look at our environment. You know, we have 2 major religions which are negating such a thing. So why will such a thing have a place? By taxing them, is like we are legitimizing the thing. Based on 2 religion, I don't think there are going to be a space for that. So there are what we call pestes in the policy making, especially the NIPS know about that. We need to assess it, all the policy based on the political aspect, you know, economic, then technology, then environmental, then security. So this is what we call pestes. So if it has to pass through this, then maybe it will pass through the advocacy or team, and then publicity, and people will intervene and then talk about it, you know. Then later National Assembly will take its course in terms of first reading in form of bill, then before it becomes a law. Yeah.
So if you would say, in terms of inclusivity, which areas do you think the presidency should focus on, especially when there is clamors everywhere that it seems the whole of the resources of the nation is going to a particular region and they're getting most of the lion's share and most of the appointments are lopsided? What will you tell Mr. President in terms of inclusivity? Which areas should be focused on so every region would enjoy dividends of democracy and as far they elected the president and to lead them?
We have, he's supposed to use what he has. What do I mean? Because he has Nigeria. And Nigeria is a country that has a lot of people that are brilliant. And then the custodian of people, they know what people know within the region. Despite the diversity of the region, we have a lot of people that have the knowledge of all those regions, and they can provide solutions and provide to Mr. President, and his own is just to say, approve. That's just it. What I mean is that he has to identify the key stakeholders, you know, and then put them in the right place. Immaterial of whether he knows them or he has to like arouse fear processes that will allow those people to take their course. And that is what we call the freedom and independence we are talking about. You understand? Then secondly, Mr. President also has to like listen to certain aspiration, immaterial of scientific, intelligent team that he has. Like Nigeria, you know, there are things that you don't apply sciences to get to them. Some people don't even understand the science. You need to approach them directly and say that, okay, this is what, okay, that's what. So the complaint will going to be normal. But you have to apply, of course, if this region needs this thing, apply to them. If this, you need to apply, you need to put circular peg in a circular hole.
So to you, is 2027 a time for us to reflect and actually exercise our franchise as people that, okay, this is what we want, considering that a lot of people feel this presidency is lopsided and it seems there is no inclusivity?
Well, there is need for the voters to know what they are doing, because we have been voting people without knowing who we are voting. You understand? So now the voters should know the dissectomy of the audit of the person they are voting. They need to know, okay, I am voting for this.
Do they have the leverage to do that?
We need to educate them.
Who are the we?
We, the community and the society and the nation and all the stakeholders, relevant stakeholders. It's a collective responsibility.
No.
I will educate my children, you educate your children, the leader of a community councillor will educate his people.
Are you going to stop with your children?
No, you start from what you have.
Family members?
You start from what you have. You know, if you can do it small by small, it will pervade around. It will go around the whole country, actually.
What do you read in the mood of Nigerians while you're coming out?
Yeah, I'm coming. I saw somebody at 40 years selling pure water. If you are in 40 years selling pure water, which future do you think you hold for the country? You can't talk.
Did you ask the person and they told you their age is 40? Or you just...
You can see somebody at 40.
Okay, you should be
You
able
should
to
be able to know,
put
actually.
age to someone's
Yes,
face.
to somebody, if
what
you are
if the face
experienced.
is a suffering face and it makes the person look older?
Okay, and that makes it worse. That the country can, convert somebody who is at the age of 25, youthful age, bracket,
looking 40.
Looking 40. So it's a problem. There is a gap that we need to fill in.
So some believe that Nigeria's greatest problem is leadership, not mismanagement of resources. What is your take?
It's part of it. All of it is inclusive, it encompasses. Number one, the leadership is also playing a vital role towards the management. Because you can't manage anything without permission and authorization. So how are you going to go and manage anything in Nigeria without giving authorization? So the authorization...
There's a problem of leadership there.
There is a problem of leadership. Then those who are given the authorization now, they are not doing it well. Because the system is not giving them a space to survive, so they want to turn to create a way to survive. How many directors legitimately do we know that they have their legit houses? At 35 years, you out of service, you are battling with NHF, National Housing Fund, they are not approving. You will take 1 year, your hair will become gray and other stuff like that. All the protocol you need to pay from this, the small you save now, you are giving them before you get what you're supposed to build the house. And during the building now, this one will chop this money, this one will chop this money, and in the end, you will not get what you're supposed to get.
If you were to pass a message to a Nigerian today who is feeling it's a gloom day or a gloomy day because there is no parameters of development that they are seeing, because for someone that's 40 and they're still on the street trying to find a few pennies to be able to feed their family, what will you tell them?
Yeah, the message is that we need to, we shouldn't depend on government on everything. We need to find our square root, definitely. Because if you will depend on government to get everything, then in the end, you will end up in the grave without getting what you want. Then because even the government itself is really, sustaining itself with the loans, foreign loans and other stuff like that. So somebody at the battling of sustaining itself with the loans and other stuff like that, depend on that person, then you are depending on something else. So I think we need to find alternative way to survive apart from the government. Then we need to pray, we need to be hopeful, of course, because there are a lot of opportunities out there outside the system. So we don't need to be too ambitious, because if you are too ambitious at a situation whereby the economic is not good, then you will fall into a trap.